Okay, so we have a little problem. And you may wonder, well, what's the problem? Well, our code worked fine. However, there were some errors in the background, and we didn't see them immediately. So let's take a look at our application. We did our master detail view, right? We can get the actual detail for a given product by selecting that link. But now if we go and look at the developer console, and if we zoom in here, we can see that we have an error. We have a little problem, and it says type error, cannot read property image URL of undefined. And this happens in our product details component template.html on line number 4. So let's go take a look at that. So here we are, line number 4 of our component.html, and we reference product.imageURL. Let's swing over into product.ts. Maybe I forgot to add that property, or maybe it's a typo. But looking here on line 6, I have a property called imageURL, and it looks like the same. Product image URL. Yeah, that's the same thing. So there's no typo here. Let's go look at our component.ts. Line 13, we create a product, and oh, okay, I got it. The property is undefined. We haven't assigned a value yet. Basically, this item is null. It hasn't been instantiated. Got it. So we actually don't assign it until later on when data arrives from that product service method call. And remember, that's an asynchronous call, so it doesn't happen immediately. It happens in the background. So this is an example of a race condition. The HTML template file is attempting to access a property, product.imageURL, but product is not assigned yet. It hasn't been instantiated. Hence, we have the error. Okay. All right. Got it. Now, that was a tricky one. So you're probably wondering, well, why does this work in the browser? Well, behind the scenes, when the property is assigned, meaning that the data actually arrives from our service, then Angular will automatically update the HTML template page. So initially there was an error, but once you viewed the page, then the error went away because the data actually arrived from the service and you actually saw the updates there on the actual HTML page. So this is known as data binding in the Angular world. This happens behind the scenes. So Angular will automatically update the HTML template page with the given data. So from the user's perspective, everything was fine, but we know looking behind the scenes, there was a race condition. So you're probably wondering, well, how can we solve it? Well, one solution is to assign a value to the product. Basically, create a new instance of the product. So I say new product, open paren, close parens, and then there we go. So now we have an empty product. So it's not null, it's not undefined, it's actually just an empty product, but we can access it and we won't have that error from before. All right, so I swing back into my browser and this is great. No errors. So we're up and running. You can click around at different parts of the application and you won't see that error again. So that is resolved. So I'm pretty happy about that. Now let's kind of swing back over into our IDE. And then you may wonder, well, what are some other solutions that we could use? Well, another solution is that we can make use of that safe navigation operator, that question mark. We saw that in some of the previous videos. So here, product ?.imageURL, that'll make sure that we don't access an undefined or null object. And this is one possible solution you can do that. The one approach here is that if you had a lot of fields that you're displaying for your given product, like maybe 5 or 10 or 20, you'd have to put this question mark on each one of those fields or whatever, or properties. Or another solution is that you could simply wrap this region in a div and then check for it accordingly. So just different ways of going about it. I'll actually undo this question mark item and I'll just kind of keep my original solution of creating a new instance. It's a very simple solution. It's a one-line solution and there's not a lot of extra work you have to do in the template page. So this is a nice way to solve that issue that we had in the browser. So I'll use this approach going forward in the videos.